Once upon a time, there were two best friends, Jack and Mark. They had been inseparable since childhood, and they did everything together. They went to the same school, played the same sports, and even got jobs at the same company after graduating college. One day, Jack and Mark decided to go on a hiking trip to the mountains. They packed their bags and set out early in the morning, eager for the adventure that lay ahead. As they climbed higher and higher, the scenery became more and more beautiful. They reached the summit just as the sun was beginning to set, and they watched in awe as the sky turned shades of pink and orange. But as they started to make their way back down, a thick fog rolled in, making it impossible for them to see where they were going. They stumbled around in the dark, trying to find their way back to the trail. As they walked, they suddenly heard a loud growl, and they froze in terror. They realized they had wandered off the trail and stumbled upon a bear's den. Jack and Mark were paralyzed with fear, unsure of what to do next. Suddenly, Jack had an idea. He remembered that bears have a strong sense of smell, and suggested that they take off their socks and use them to mask their scent. Mark thought it was a crazy idea, but they had no other choice. They quickly took off their socks and held them over their noses as they cautiously walked away from the den. Miraculously, the plan worked. The bear didn't follow them, and they eventually made it back to the trail. They were exhausted and covered in scratches, but they were relieved to be alive. As they sat by the campfire that night, Jack and Mark realized how much they meant to each other. They talked about how much they had been through together, and how they couldn't imagine life without each other. They made a promise to always be there for each other, no matter what. Years later, as they sat together reminiscing about their adventure, they both realized that they had never forgotten the lessons they had learned that day. They had learned that even in the most desperate situations, there is always hope, and that true friendship can help you overcome even the most impossible obstacles.